Hello, all you lovely people out there. How are you all doing? I'm Kate Hill, and I am here to give you the best, unbiased and honest commentary about the property markets, along with fantastic hints and tips as we go. So as always, stay tuned. Okay, so you've made all sorts of new resolutions. As a beginner investor, you may be starting the new year with plans to invest in property. You may have done the same last year, but you didn't get around to it or didn't quite know where to start. It's a common problem. If you're considering investing in property for the very first time, there are a number of questions and considerations that can be a really useful way to begin getting yourself organized as a beginner investor. There is, of course, a lot of serious work to consider because the route to being a successful property investor starts well before the purchase of the actual property, and it continues usually for many years to come. It's a learning curve, so recognizing the right questions to ask yourself can speed the process and ultimately determine your success in the business. Most property investors are looking to maximize capital growth, rental values, and maybe also development potential. But there are many metrics to consider so that you can figure out the most appropriate and best route to your desired outcome, and perhaps to minimize the time it takes you to get there. So, as a beginner property investors, what are some of those key considerations? Why do you want to invest in property? Is it as a home for you and your family to live in, or is it as an investment for your future? Do you want to buy in a particular area because of personal or local friends? Or are you purely looking to maximize the return at the end of the day? The reason why you're doing this is really important to be clear on, because there are many, many ups and downs, and you need a strong and clear reason to keep you going through all of those ups and downs. There is honestly no silver bullet to success in any field. Most successful investors have a well thought through plan, along with short, medium, and longer term goals, even potentially including their entry and exit points. The opportunity cost is everything else that you could be doing instead of this particular investment, and what you could do with your deposit money. For example, if you would prefer to spend it traveling the world, especially at the moment with COVID, buying shares, then focus on what your hopes, dreams, and goals are, and ultimately what you want and how you want to go about achieving that. Most successful property investors start off small and work their way up, and manage numbers and the risk by working with industry professionals such as the right accountant, an experienced and qualified property advisor, competent mortgage broker, property manager, or maybe even a lowly buyer's agent. You have to be prepared for the ups and downs of the market cycles, whether that be in property generally or the economy as a whole. Property prices do rise and fall. They flatline, they do different things. Interest rates do too, which can really affect your monthly repayments, of course. Be aware of this so that you don't stumble at the first hurdle or get put off by normal market cycles. A property cycle has historically taken approximately 7 to 10 years. Now, with this in mind, consider where the market is in that particular cycle. What are the right charts, and what do qualified advisors say about the best areas to invest in? And I don't mean your mate at the barbecue. Compare this to what your research tells you. You have to be careful not to fall into some of the traps and make mistakes that investors make, such as buying in areas that they like personally rather than those with the best growth drivers, which suggests a stronger return. Can you afford a property investment? What happens when interest rates go up, which they will, or you lose your job? How safe and secure is your income and capacity to pay off that loan over at least the next 10, 20, 30 years? What is the cash flow on that property? You need to know these things before you start investing, and you need to have a plan. Now, we all need to allow for change, for a rainy day, and for unexpected things that can go wrong when life throws curveballs at us. It's essential to make a full budget document with all of your earnings and expenses, and talk with your advisor to help consider the costs involved with property investing and how you're going to repay them out over a period that you are comfortably able to do so, and so that you grow your investment, build equity, allow yourself the opportunity to leverage into more property. Now, everyone is different, of course, but your first property shouldn't normally be a high risk investment. For many people, the very first property investment is our first home. While it's not income producing, it is still an asset. And this provides experience and stability to test, investigate, perhaps update and renovate, get your hand in and get used to the process. Now, I would recommend that you be as broad as you can when considering locations. Being open to a wide-ranging approach offers a lot more opportunity than just focusing on one area or city, especially when you're deciding on where to buy. And be careful of just investing in where you live because you know the area. This can be a real danger, and if it's a more expensive location than you can afford, then this can also stop you from investing sooner rather than later, because you're having to save more and more money to invest in that place. And the location may actually not be that great as an investment location. Consider different areas, key infrastructure such as roads, schools, unis, hospitals, transport options, and if any of these are being planned or opening. And also think about areas with growing populations. What are the pros and cons of each of these? And what are the best investment types in your evolving list of areas? Word of warning, as always, there's no shortage of spruikers on the market selling property in sometimes very sophisticated and captivating ways. They are very, very skillful salespeople and can make the dodgiest area sound fantastic. Be very careful to check the key figures with your investment plan. Consider the most important data and analyze those opportunities that you are interested in and are genuinely worth taking seriously. This is where the right questions, advice, and information become your greatest asset and make or save you real money at the end of the day. I am going to keep talking to you about all things property, so don't forget to hit subscribe. Click the like button if you are enjoying the free content, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.